Okay, hear me out. Two things I want to reframe real quick. Women, stop asking men, why didn't you fight harder to see your kids? Start asking women, why does he have to fight to see his kids? Men, stop asking women, why don't you leave if he mistreats you? Start asking men, why do you mistreat her? Okay, tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the one thing that everyone hates about modern dating is all of the swiping. Crazy. And it's like you want to meet a quality person, maybe even in time for Valentine's Day, but you don't have all day to be auditing these profiles to make sure that you actually have enough in common. There's no deal breakers, or even that they're a real person. That's why I was really impressed to find the dating app Duet. Instead of endless and random lefts and rights, Duet uses the auto match feature, powered by its genius algorithm as well as interest tags to instantly match you with someone that you share common interests, values, and even backgrounds with. And Duet takes your time and safety seriously with verified profiles, so no catfish in these seas, just real people looking for real connections. People's second biggest annoyance with modern dating? Getting ghosted. How many times have you matched with an absolute stunner just for them to fall off the face of the earth after your first hello? This is where Duet has even more Valentine's magic in mind within its design. Instead of getting to just scan through faces like they're collectible cards, if you want to unlock more of someone's photos, you're gonna actually have to start a conversation. You guys remember when attraction used to grow over time by getting to know someone instead of just picking them out from a lineup? Yeah, Duet's bringing that energy back. So if you're ready to quit swiping and just tell the algorithm, this is who I am, this is what I like, this is what I want, and let it do the work for you, try Duet. And if you want some pretty solid, cheeky relationship advice, not just for this mushy love holiday, but for the rest of them, come on back to my page. I can tell you how to keep them around, but you gotta find them first, so go get them, Tiger. My husband was sleeping for night shift and our toddler wasn't having it. Hi, so this is actually a form of intimate sleep deprivation is unfortunately a very key tactic that is designed to punish the victims as well as chastise them further for any mistakes they make while exhausted. In the critically acclaimed book, Why Does He Do That?, it is even considered one of the most serious forms of physical harm. And despite the male-centered title of this book, women are capable of it as well, clearly. And yes, kids will be kids, but she has provided us enough context to understand that A, she understands that these are the hours her husband needs to sleep for his night shift, and B, that she was close enough to stop the disruption, but chose to just sit back and watch and laugh instead. Not getting enough sleep leads to so many short and long-term health effects and is one of the leading causes of anxiety and depression in parents. If your partner treats you like this, they are treating you like they hate you. And you need to run. So Nicolas Cage is being sued by his ex because allegedly their shared son attacked her during an incident that Nicolas Cage was not even present for. Now, you might be thinking, if their son is old enough to get sued, then that must mean he's not a child, right? And you would be correct. Their son, Weston, is indeed a 34-year-old man. So your next question might be, if he is a full-grown man and Nicolas Cage was not at all present for this incident, how is Nicolas Cage to blame? Did he orchestrate this event? Did he encourage this event? No. According to Nicolas Cage's ex, Christina Fulton, Nicolas Cage is apparently responsible because he failed to intervene sooner, citing that he knew their son had mental health struggles. Once again, their son is 34 years old and Nicolas Cage was not even there. And if she's referring to like preventative therapy or something like that, any adult parent knows that you cannot make your adult child do anything. Now, I would feel completely differently if Nicolas Cage was there and just sat back and watched and did nothing to intervene while his son attacked anybody, right? But I cannot stress enough, Nicolas Cage was not there. Christina Fulton further cites that one of the reasons Nicolas Cage is to blame for this incident, though, is because he has financially supported his son into adulthood. And now the pieces are starting to fit together. So she has a damaged relationship with her son, but Nicolas Cage does not. And how dare he? Nicolas Cage is still financially supporting him, but not her. So what's up? Are we looking to course correct here to punish him for that? I'm not even saying Weston didn't lay hands on his mom. The dude also got arrested for a DUI, which is one of the most degenerate things that you can do, so I don't give an F about that dude. But lumping Nicolas Cage into this lawsuit just kind of discredits the entire thing as looking like a cash grab PR stunt. That's just my opinion. The alternative opinion is that this is a genius move on her end by legally compelling her son's main financial support toward her into taking a step back so that he can be forced to struggle and actually get the help he needs. A stretch, I know, I'm just trying to give you both sides. But what do you think? Do you think there's any chance that this is her last Hail Mary to try and save her troubled son? Or do you think that she is simply lost in the Delulu sauce, as I fear? I personally believe the case needs to be thrown out because it sets a very dangerous and ridiculous precedent for how much a parent is responsible for their grown adult child. After all, if she's going to sue his dad for not preventing it, doesn't she also have to sue herself? Why are we infantilizing a 34-year-old man? If you're old enough to go to war and die, you're probably old enough to go to court without your daddy. Okay, I don't know if you guys have seen this video yet about this guy who talks about how all he wants for his birthday is to drive about 4 hours away to go to this one specific pizza place, and it just blows up in his face, but let's talk about it. The whole thing ends up turning into this if you give a mouse a cookie saga, except for instead of a mouse and a cookie, it's if you give your wife any authority on a road trip. Because when the wife starts taking over, she starts wanting to do pretty much everything but go to this pizza place. They go on rides, they go do putt-putt, and then they end up eating at Paula Deen's restaurant instead. And it's his birthday pizza trip. Whole time he's telling the story, you can hear her cackling like a banshee in the background. Like she's loving it. She thinks this is hilarious. The whole weekend comes and goes. This man never gets his pizza. Not a single slice, not a drop of marinara grazed this man's lips. And people in the comments weren't happy. It was basically Spool of Wire Guy Part 2 Electric Boogaloo. The fact she kept laughing shows her true feelings for you. My feelings would be so freaking hurt and she's over there laughing at you. I'm sorry, dude. My heart actually hurts for you. It's not about the pizza at all. Now, here and throughout the comments, Zach does insist that it was funny to both of them, and it's not really a big deal, but this is understandably pretty hard for people to believe. There are a lot of people who end up putting themselves totally on the back burner for their families, over and over and over again, to the point that they never get taken out for pizza, just taken out for granted. And a lot of us felt that. And we do a pretty okay job of checking in on moms to make sure they're not losing themselves to motherhood, but how often are we checking in on our husbands to make sure they're not giving themselves up completely for fatherhood? But maybe we should. Haley, you know what you need to do? Call this Goofy Movie Part 2, because you are packing that bag right up and taking that man back out for pizza, or TikTok is going to be very upset with you.
It really just goes to show that these modern women will never ever truly be happy. Never ever. If a man is not groveling, if a man is not buying her all these expensive bags, these modern women are not going to be satisfied. They're not going to be satisfied until they're literally riding the backs of men. Men are horses, animals, any type of thing that you can think that is beneath a woman. That's what these men are to these women. I mean, God dog, the man has committed his life to her. And God forbid she say, let me pay you back. I want to spend the rest of my life with you too. So in order for us to do that, let me give something to you. God forbid she do that. Modern women.
Okay, this is this girl's first time seeing her fiance in 2 weeks since donating one of her organs to save his life. Super sweet, right? What do you think this creator is gonna say about it?
You donated to who? Fiance? Fiance? I'm not hearing husband.
Her caption reads, "Yeah, I own you now." And I'm so glad I saw this on the 5-year anniversary of my mom donating her kidney to save my sister's life, because I have a lot to say. So you would rather this man continue suffering, putting off a life-saving transplant with a willing living donor, something that most people in this situation literally die waiting for, so that she can, let me check my notes, have a really expensive party first? You've obviously never experienced dialysis, so let me explain to you how my sister was living before my mom donated her kidney to her. Most individuals in renal failure have to receive regular dialysis treatment, and to start this treatment, a surgeon needs to put a port in your body, and they do that by slicing open either your neck or groin in order to insert an intravenous catheter. Then you have to visit a treatment center about 3 times a week, attaching yourself to a machine for about 4 hours each visit. It's uncomfortable, it's ugly, it's expensive, and it is not a high quality of life. And you think it's better that he keeps doing that so that they can have a wedding. You understand he wouldn't even be able to travel for a honeymoon, right? But you know what? I'm happy for you. I am happy that you have clearly never had to experience watching someone you love suffer and fade away slowly, having to live an absolutely perfect lifestyle to even try to get on a transplant list, a list that many spend years and years waiting on. People who donate their organs are heroes because they know that the person they're donating to doesn't owe them anything, and anyone considering donating is warned about this. If you feel like you deserve unilateral control over someone's life because you donated an organ to them, don't donate your organs. It's very simple. No one's making you do it. But it's very weird that you are shaming someone who literally saved someone's life because she's not traditional enough. Isn't that supporting the patriarchy? Leave her alone. She's a hero. You're some lady being a brat on TikTok. You are not the same. Okay, so this starts with, is my husband cheating on me in my own basement? WTF. Is this a thing? Awesome. When people say you don't have to worry about men who have at-home hobbies because you always know where they are, this is what they're talking about. Yeah, I can safely say I have never seen someone build something like this before, but between the RV excavators and the train tracks that I saw earlier in the video, this is like guaranteed fidelity insurance for your relationship. These are like the two safest men I could possibly imagine. But also, W wife for making your husband feel comfortable enough to be his complete and total nerd self and even make this happen. And finally, a wholesome comment section. Does he need any more friends? I'd like to apply. What time do I drop my husband off? He will bring his own snacks. And bro needs to live stream this. Apparently there's a group of old retired men in Italy who spend nothing but time at construction sites. And I looked this up and it is true. They are called the Umbarelle, and they are retired old men who hang out at railroad and construction sites, typically with their hands clasped behind their back, offering unsolicited and unwanted advice to the workers. They're like professional backseat drivers for blue-collar workers, and I just want to bring them gelato. Anyway, if you're wondering why I still like men, umbrella.
Does this make sense? I mean, I might be way off, I don't know. If we paint that little bathroom ceiling black, like a flat black, will that now...
We are not painting the...
Shut up, man! I'm not even done! You don't even let me have... I'm trying to tell you something!
The ceiling black.
So this dad has an idea for how he'd like to remodel the bathroom, and before he can even get 2 sentences out, he's automatically shut down by his wife. And you can tell that this is old hat in this home by the way he responds. I don't like when couples tell each other to shut up, but you can tell that he is so sick of being treated this way. Like, every idea he has is harebrained, unreliable, moronic. Only her ideas are the good ideas. So I actually looked up what a black ceiling in a bathroom looks like. It's gorgeous. I mean, we personally painted our bathroom ceilings like a dark chocolate and contrasted with the olive green. I love the way that it looks. And maybe after he showed her some examples, she still wouldn't have liked it, but at least he would have felt heard and respected and not just shut down immediately like he's a toddler asking if he can eat nothing but marshmallows for dinner. Luckily, their son who's recording does try to help.
Tell you what, I'll paint my bathroom ceiling black. You can come over anytime you want to use my bathroom.
Thanks, son.
Raising my husband is exhausting. I feel like so many ladies can relate to this tea.
Oh, that's embarrassing for everyone involved. Why don't you just make a shirt that says, I hate my husband, or better yet, I'm avoiding divorce for the kids? Because there's no shot that any woman who buys this t-shirt likes or even doesn't resent the man they're married to. Could you imagine a guy wearing a t-shirt saying, dealing with my wife's nagging is exhausting? Bet you ladies would love that one. And her caption reads, this is the funniest shirt ever. What's funny about having a Freudian mother-son-like relationship with your husband? You're describing most people's nightmare situation. Cause no woman wants to actually mother a grown man, and no grown man wants to be mothered. And that's like the best interpretation of this shirt. The worst interpretation of the shirt is the implication. Like, are you literally raising your husband? Do you have a child groom? Are you one of those names on the list? Like I said, this is so embarrassing for everybody involved, but if you like bragging about infantilizing someone who is supposed to be your equal partner, it's a free country. Pop off, I guess.
I went on a date with this guy and he was like, so do you have any hobbies? Wake up. Wake up, buddy. Look at me. I go and get lip filler. Hobby. I pluck my eyebrows. Hobby. I apply Hailey Bieber lip gloss all day long. Hobby. Taking care of me. I go buy cute earrings. Hobby. Taking care of me.
This girl really said, of course I have a hobby. Consumerism. Duh. I slurp the capitalist boot. Hobby. I let it sit on my neck. Hobby. My pastimes? Stimulating the economy. You're welcome. But no, seriously, why did she get so mad at someone simply asking what her hobbies are? That's not something that an average person would get upset about unless they felt personally attacked because they don't have hobbies, which I think might be what happened in this case. Like, it would be funny if she was like, what do you mean, do I have hobbies? Look at me. And she's literally in the middle of crocheting or like building a Lego set. But that was not the case. And let's pretend that this is a rational and reasonable response. Does it survive the gender swap? So I'm on a date with this girl, right? And she's like, so do you have any hobbies? And I'm like, do you not have eyes? Look at me. Look how many skins I have in Fortnite. Hobby. I pour anti-chafing deodorant down my boxers. Hobby. I inject my thigh with steroids all day long. Hobby. If a dude said his hobby was steroids, y'all would drag him. Y'all would light him up like a Christmas tree, men and women alike. Because these things are not hobbies. They're really expensive, superficial things you use to try to enhance your life, which is fine. It's your money. Spend it how you want. But why are you mad at us for asking what else you do? And the way she ends this whole thing with taking care of myself is my hobby. Like, it's not a hobby. That's a baseline necessity for survival. That's the main quest. What are your side quests? And what's crazy is she could have basically said the same thing but nicer. She could have been like, I'm actually really into makeup artistry and trying out different styles, and it wouldn't have been even remotely the giant red flag that she has now made herself to all men. But you know what? It sounds like she doesn't even need a man because she is focused on herself enough for all of us. All of us. I might not be the one you marry, but I will 100% be the one you think about at 2 a.m. laying next to your vanilla wife, wondering if I ever stopped being a feral rat. Everyone's getting so creative with their cope these days. I love that she can't just get dumped. She also has to create entire fan fiction scenarios where the man never moves on from her and every woman he dates after her just pales in comparison to her. You have to convince not only yourself of this, but your entire friends list that every woman after you must be so lame and boring compared to you, right? That's what we're doing here. You can't compare yourself to something you have no interest in being. A wife. If you're not wifeable, don't worry about what us wives are doing because you're just hating outside of the club that you can't even get in. And the funniest part about these videos, yes, I say these videos, because these girls bragging about how unique they are have copied this trend bar for bar from someone else. Look how many of them there are. But to make you feel better, sweetie, he probably is thinking about you because every man who dodges a bullet remembers. I hope that helps you sleep at night, alone, without a husband.
If your wife works, I just want to let you know, as a man, you have failed. Shame on all of you guys.
He goes on for a bit here, but man, he really thought he cooked with this one. I mean, he thought he unlocked the infinite booty glitch with this one. He thought those DMs were going to be popping off like, please choose me, daddy. No. Let's see how it went for old buddy in the comments. This one points out, yeah, and if he leaves you, you're left with no work experience, no money, nothing. No thanks, I'd rather work, and it keeps me active. To which Jerry responds with, if he leaves you or leaves you with nothing, you chose poorly. Skill issue. So it took us approximately 4 seconds for Jerry to go fully mask off with his initial I'm the ultimate woman's man impression and pivot immediately to if a man treats you bad, it's your fault. This woman says, my boy, we make more than our husbands. And for 30% of wives, this is true. To which he says, that's a skill issue on his end. And I love this response. This woman says, my husband is a Royal Marine and I still make more than him. Do you think he lacks skills? And he doesn't even realize that he's still putting down women while trying to degrade men so that he can be a male pick-me. Because a woman out earning a man means that she is incredibly skilled, not that he is lacking. And you don't even know how much he makes. He could be making $600,000 a year and you would still unilaterally decide that he is less of a man by proxy of making less than his wife who earns $700,000 a year? Like, that's literally just misogyny, bro. He goes on to say that there is literally no reason that a man should not be able to provide for his entire family on a single income, and that the only reason that a woman should have to work would be to pay for daycare, and at that point, she should just stay home. I guess in this man's brain, he doesn't comprehend that women can make enough to earn more than daycare costs. A man wanting a wife who works is not inherently a bad thing, and I'm not gonna let you gaslight a bunch of dudes into thinking they're wrong for knowing what they want in a partner. These men appreciate that a wife who works will always have herself to fall back on and will be able to provide for the family even if God forbid something happens to him, and vice versa. And women who work receive major confidence and social benefits too. And there's also nothing inherently wrong about being dependent on a man, but it is risky, not just for the man, but for the woman too. Like, I get it, it's easy for you to talk a big game as a young, healthy man who sells Legos for a living, but for average, hard-working men, they never know when a workplace accident or injury is gonna take them out of commission. But what, he'd be a failure if he didn't have a year's worth of income set aside in savings for her too? Women, do not fall for this man's bait. He is not a good man. Because every single one of you women who busted you to get to where you are today, all of you scientists, nurses, teachers, he thinks that your work is a waste. He thinks you'd be more valuable at home as a pregnancy machine. Do not let some dude with a dug wardrobe of one gray hoodie and one gray t-shirt tell you how to be a man or how to be a woman. Bad manosphere, bro. Bad. It's time for another fun game of Does It Survive the Gender Swap?
What's the wildest thing y'all ever threw at your man while arguing? My Hyundai Sonata.
All right, Desiree here, also very proud that she mowed down her man with her car. Terry Lee here couldn't be more proud that she's speed running her second divorce. This mother of a young son brags about laying both hands on her man. Ashley Miller says this video fixed her whole algorithm. Carly threw a lit glass candle at her man. Guess she couldn't afford Burning Man. Kylie ironically being the female version of a Kyle punching holes in the wall. This poor woman damaged her brake line when she hit her man with her car because he wouldn't move out of the way. Aw, her poor brake line. We listen and we take notes. We listen and we learn. I'm here for inspiration. This goes on and on and on and on and oh my God, wait. My cousin threw pruning shears and they stuck. LOL. And you guys think this is funny. Do you want to see what it actually looks like when someone uses something sharp on you during an argument? Yep. I get to live with this for the rest of my life because of people like you. Is this funny, ladies? Is this cute? Is it okay because it happened during an argument? No, really, because you're all hee hee ha ha thousands of likes in the comments. Come tell me that this is funny to my face. If it's not okay when it happens to a woman, it's not okay when it happens to a man. There's so much more I want to say, but I know that these ladies will never care. So instead, I'm gonna go hug my son and pray that he never meets women like you. Have the life you deserve, preferably in jail.
Can't make it up. These modern women will get online bragging about actual crimes, literally felonies with a deadly weapon, close to vehicular manslaughter. But they're making fun. Oh man, this is great. This is the best thing. But if a man should so happen to defend himself when a woman swings on him, how dare he do that? Under no circumstances. And anybody in the comments, if you're saying that he had a right to defend himself, you're what's wrong with the world. These modern women.
Potential hot take, but can boys stop responding so fast, please? It's such an ick to me.
Okay, boys, write this down. It's icky to reply too fast.
Are they a slow texter or are they just not that into you?
Oh, wait. Okay, no, do reply faster or else they'll think you're not into her. My bad.
Here's a PSA for all the single ladies. If a guy texts you back right away, or if he's messaging you nonstop all day, probably seems really flattering, right? But it's not. It means he has nothing else better to do.
Wait, okay, don't reply. They hate it. Okay, wait, do reply as fast as you can.
Girl brain is if you text him and he texts you back right away, ick.
Maybe don't respond that fast?
Hey, I'm going home, gonna load my shotgun.
I don't know anymore. It appears your life is in danger no matter what. I'm so sorry. My boyfriend planned a date for every day in 2025. No way. Caption reads, commitment is scared of him. Now, this is very similar to the spool of wire guy situation where the comments are not torn. Everybody hates this lady. You looking real ungrateful. We losing valuable men to ungrateful girls. If you don't want him, give him to us. Who are they poaching now? Why do you look annoyed when you are living the dream? You're dating a whole green flag forest and you're so ungrateful. So, okay, let me try to play devil's avocado for a quick second here. Hear me out. Every day? Okay, if it's actually every single day for real, that's actually crazy. Come on. You can't just call dibs on every single day of 2025. It reminds me of the overly clingy girlfriend meme from 2012. What if she wants to hang out with someone else? What if she wants to be alone? Okay, I can't keep doing the devil's avocado because I'm positive that these are not like mandatory dates. I'm sure it's not like horseback riding or you're dead to me. It really just strikes me as a take it or leave it, but I planned a lot of really exciting stuff. And the general consensus is right. Gratitude goes a long way. When I first met my husband, I could not cook for real, but he would literally say thank you excitedly to me if I so much as heated up SpaghettiOs. And I was like, yo, if this is how this dude reacts to SpaghettiOs, imagine if I make this dude like a full-on meal. So I actually learned how to cook because his joy made it so worth it. Lesson? Attractive and smooth talking? Joyful and appreciative.
She's not gonna like it. She's not gonna like what you've got in store.
Look, you can sleep in the Shire, stay away from Mordor.
So this dad is leading his daughter up the stairs to show her the present that he got for her, which ends up being a Lord of the Rings map blanket. And as they're going up the stairs super excitedly, the wife goes, she's not gonna like it. Why? I think most women agree that this was so annoying as a little girl to hear every time that you expressed interest in something that wasn't 100% girl adjacent. But also, what would compel you to insert negative energy into a situation that you know this man is trying to build up joy for? So I was willing to just excuse this as her way of joking around, maybe, but then...
I don't understand, I'm not going to lie.
We love Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, and we're watching Hobbit next week.
Fun!
I don't like it. I love it.
You seem upset that your daughter doesn't hate the very harmless thing that you seem to hate. And I love that the daughters were completely unfazed by it, but still, what weird energy is this to completely crash out over a fantasy blanket? I'm sorry, is this not gonna look good on your blog or something? How did the blanket hurt you?
What are you doing? Thought you were working.
I'm looking at this.
What is it?
It's wire. It's a spool of wire. And I'm almost out of it. Can you see the spool of wire?
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost out of it.
Okay.
And I've had this spool of wire for like 40 years. I bought it like this it's not a piece of a long time ago, but it's like 40 years of my life is in the wire that's gone. Does that make sense? This is what's left.
I'm sorry to hear that, and sad for you, but you're wearing your Jets hat, and I'm a little concerned right now that you're wearing your Jets hat. I thought that's why you were crying.
Okay, I'm done.
Damn, that hurt my feelings and it didn't even happen to me. I know we say men are simple, but that doesn't mean that they aren't capable of deeply emotional moments. Bro just witnessed the sands of time of his own life fall before him by way of a spool of wire, and you just kind of like disregarded that as inconsequential. It doesn't matter. You're just like, yeah, get back to work. When like, we all know how excited he was to share that with her, right? The whole time he was talking, it felt like she was just waiting for him to finish so she could make her stupid Jets hat joke. And what's also not lost on me is she sees her husband out there getting emotional on the back deck, and what does she do? Hits record and shoves her phone in his face. It almost seemed like she was even a little disappointed that he didn't do anything humiliating because that's not the content she wanted. And if that's not the way she intended it, it's definitely the way that we're all interpreting it, and it made us all really sad. Go apologize to that man. Oh. Every single time in my life that I've ever seen a woman seethe with rage that a woman proposed to a man, she is 100% of the time never in a happy, fulfilled relationship. And she's far from alone. The comment section is full of women hating on this woman for daring to get engaged in a non-traditional way. This is gonna be me next week. Wish me luck. That's actually crazy. I hope you get help. So ladies, let me make sure I'm getting this straight. When a woman follows the patriarchal archetype of waiting for a man to propose, something that used to be basically a transaction of selling you to him, that's the right way. But when a woman carves out a new path for herself and deviates from that norm, creating a new structure of autonomy for herself, that's when she's desperate. Here, ladies, let me make you real mad. 8 years ago, when me and my now husband sat down to have a serious conversation with my now stepson about how we were probably going to get married, my now stepson asked me if he could be involved. And what he wanted to do was kind of a joint proposal where I got down on one knee and he pulled out the ring and asked, "Daddy, will you marry Miss Lauren?" He said yes, and did he later eventually cross-propose to me? Yes, but oh no, I proposed first. So call me desperate, call me a pick-me, call me pathetic. You can also call me happily married for about a decade and not aging like shelved milk by being such a bitter Betty.
Modern women, they never take accountability, and this is just another example of it. You put something in the stove that should not have been there. And then when he didn't check on it because it should not have been there, you try to expose him online and try to embarrass him. Modern women, once again telling us, they want somebody who can communicate effectively. You didn't do that. They want somebody that's emotionally intelligent and can read the room. You didn't do that either. Idiot.
POV, your man preheats the oven without looking inside. Yeah, because you shouldn't have to. You're gonna come on here and try and shame your man and make him look stupid for, no, really, let me check my notes, properly using an oven? Because he didn't anticipate that you, the actual goofy person, didn't know how ovens work? Look, storing pots and pans in the oven, that's one thing. At worst, they'll get hot. Storing anything that you do not want to burn without having an explicit conversation with everyone in the house or a clearly posted note is insane. You remind me of the guy who got pissed at his roommate for melting all of his Ziploc Tupperware that he had been storing in the oven as well. And I would ordinarily not roast someone so hard for such a simple mistake, but you came here on the internet's most popular social media website to try and roast your own man for quote unquote his mistake. But I think myself and any other logic-minded person is gonna tell you he did nothing wrong. Haley, the girl who posted this, is now raging in the comments that people are not on her side, and I hope her man is taking notes. You guys are only dating, and she is already recording you and trying to post you online and drag you for her own buffoonery and throwing temper tantrums instead of taking any accountability. This is your sign. Give yourself something to be really thankful for this holiday and run. New update. I fear cheating Chelsea has just completely lost it. I get it. We thought the plot was long gone when she made this video. Look, I thought she lost it when she made an entire side piece business called The Other Woman and the Wife off of an affair she had where she helped a man cheat on his wife for 5 straight years. And I could also tell she was not fully with us when she allowed her other woman community to post pictures of the affair partner's wives for comparison purposes. What? That's cute, Melanie. But it appears we are just fully entrenched in the schizo arc, because what is this latest post?
And the act of cheating, often undertaken without understanding its roots, serves as a conduit for exploring hurt, frustration, release, and ultimately, demon relief. Demon relief.
I'm sorry, cheating can be a conduit for demon relief? Girl, what? Now, I've seen this woman very Caucasianly co-opt terms like rebirth and enlightenment, but now you're saying that cheating is the new method of exorcising demons? So side pieces are the new Ghostbusters? You just suck them up like... I have been used to the hippy-dippy psychobabble word salad from The Other Woman for a long time now, but lately it's been really giving cult leader. It's weird. Her video ends with her basically being like, tell me your affair stories. And I cannot stress enough that if you disclose your deepest, darkest secrets to this woman, you will not be reborn or enlightened or receive any demon relief. She is allowed to just take your story and use it for social media to profit off of you, because when you join that website, you sign away any legal protection for yourself. You literally have to sign that you will never join a class action lawsuit if she fails to protect anything you've disclosed. This lady can't protect you, and she can't get you into the spirit realm either. She's just a woman who has never developed a personality past affair drama and is now trying to capitalize that for when her husband inevitably leaves her for wife number 4/mistress number 4, who doesn't vexatiously soothe out of betrayed spouses all the time, in my opinion. Y'all, I even heard they're making like spirit candles to hex all of us anti-cheaters, I guess. I'll keep y'all updated. Kristen's Army. Boop. So check this out. You guys remember Grandma Side Piece, the lady who owns the coaching business for people experiencing affairs? Turns out she doesn't like the phrase cheated on.
I hate the phrase they cheated on me because it takes all of the power and control outside of you.
What power or control do people have on whether they get cheated on?
And I really like to frame it in the sense of, because it places the autonomy where it belongs, which is they chose to participate in an extramarital affair.
Right, you chose to cheat. You're so close, you just don't want to say cheat. You want to say participate, because cheated on makes you sound bad. No one is taking away the value of your autonomy when they tell you you cheated. They're actually validating how much autonomy you had when you agreed to monogamy with your husband and then told him he wasn't allowed to cheat on you either. They're promoting your ability to take ownership of your autonomy.
That cheated on me is inclusive of the betrayed spouse.
Well, right, because the betrayed spouse is included in the betrayal. Otherwise, you wouldn't call them the betrayed spouse. It matters because one or both of you agreed that you weren't gonna sleep with someone else, and now you're holding them hostage to a monogamy that you're not reciprocating. Do I really have to spell this out?
I don't agree that the stereotype that people who cheat are inherently bad or immoral or selfish.
Oh, that's convenient. It's been a minute, but we are back with new updates in the cheating Chelsea lawsuit. Also, she's dancing again, but we'll get to that. If you're new here, a lady who cheated on her husband with someone else's husband and then started an entire business for coaching other people having affairs, started creating rage bait content targeting betrayed spouses to make fun of them, but then rage baited a little bit too close to the sun because she is now being sued by one of those betrayed spouses named Kristen Jacobs, who accuses her of using her private side piece community to post identifying, personal, and harassing photos and images of herself, her children, and numerous other betrayed spouses, causing harm to multiple individuals. And cheating Chelsea is suing Kristen for telling people about it. Originally, Chelsea was being sued alongside one of her affair coaches, Olivia Nicodemus, who is accused of being one of the main aggressors within this community, often posting extremely provocative stories about the various ways in which she violated Kristen's personal belongings, home, and of course, her marriage. But the breaking news today is that Olivia has officially been dropped from the lawsuit. Apparently, Kristen and Olivia settled privately, leaving just her and Chelsea to face off in court for now, and I sincerely hope that Olivia Nicodemus was made to pay out. Still commenting on the cheating community's videos, here saying she feels no shame. And like I said, Chelsea is back to dancing, and her comments are turned back on, at least on her new videos. There's still way too much evidence we have to hide in the old videos for those to be on. And in these comments, despite Chelsea bragging about her team that she has assembled, according to the case file, Chelsea has already lost her original lawyer and is on to her second. Aww. Do you imagine being a new lawyer trying to come in the middle of all of this? Well, golly gee, who'd have ever thought representing a professional side piece would be an unreliable, career-damaging choice? We did. We all thought that. This all leads me to speculate that unlike Olivia, Chelsea is probably planning on seeing her case through all the way to the bitter end. And while that will be hilarious for us to all watch blow up spectacularly in her face, it's probably going to be pretty expensive for Kristen. So I have linked how to support her legal fund in my bio. I will of course keep you all posted as this plays out, because don't win Kristen's army, boop! Did you really commit, or did you just engage in a misunderstood hobby? There can be so many deeper and nuanced reasons a person may experience. Here at the AM and the Wife, we hold a sacred space for everyone who is or is currently in the middle of it without judgment. When you tell a person, just stop, it's obvious that you don't understand that this type of genuine connection and love cannot simply be replicated or replaced by other hobbies like Scrabble or Monopoly. The chemistry and unique joy a person finds in their own can often lead to a sense of self-discovery and freedom they may have never found elsewhere. So when you tell it to just stop, it oversimplifies and completely fails to address why it happens in the first place. If you're feeling drawn to swinging an axe directly through another human, your feelings are valid and you don't deserve to feel ashamed for that. So join me, Chelsea Tinymeat, in our private and understanding community for other. We're even planning a gentrified yoga retreat where we will all literally achieve Dharma. And this year, we are so excited to announce a brand new group just for men, the Baby Seal Clubber and the Husband. So join us, leave behind the judgment, and take the next big step. It's time to pick up your life by the axe and swing for the stars.
This is hilarious. Go follow her channel, The DADVOCATE, on TikTok, Instagram, and I think she might have a Facebook too. But this series and then the parody at the end just shows us how modern women absolutely refuse to take accountability.
POV, your man preheats the oven without looking inside. Yeah, because you shouldn't have to. You're gonna come on here and try and shame your man and make him look stupid for, no, really, let me check my notes, properly using an oven? Because he didn't anticipate that you, the actual goofy person, didn't know how ovens work? Look, storing pots and pans in the oven, that's one thing. At worst, they'll get hot. Storing anything that you do not want to burn without having an explicit conversation with everyone in the house or a clearly posted note is insane! You remind me of the guy who got pissed at his roommate for melting all of his Ziploc Tupperware that he had been storing in the oven as well. And I would ordinarily not roast someone so hard for such a simple mistake, but you came here on the internet's most popular social media website to try and roast your own man for quote-unquote his mistake. But I think myself and any other logic-minded person is gonna tell you he did nothing wrong. Haley, the girl who posted this, is now raging in the comments that people are not on her side, and I hope her man is taking notes. You guys are only dating, and she is already recording you and trying to post you online and drag you for her own buffoonery and throwing temper tantrums instead of taking any accountability. This is your sign. Give yourself something to be really thankful for this holiday and run. So I overhear this girl talking about how this guy at the gym has been annoying her, which happens. But then she goes, yeah, I made it very non-verbally clear that it was bothering me. Now, you shouldn't even have to be in a position where you have to correct someone's behavior, but if you are with a man, there is no such thing as non-verbally clear. I'm not even a man and I don't know what that means or looks like. Did you make a face and telepathically expect him to know what that means? Did you like hold up a hand or like do one of these? Okay, so first of all, there's nothing wrong with a guy approaching you and wanting to talk to you. And it's perfectly fine if you do not want to engage in that, but I'm telling you right now that subtle hints are not gonna work. You are allowed, no, super allowed to say, I don't want to talk to you. I super allow you to say, please leave me alone, or even, I don't want to be your friend. Really, any words will work, but the only non-verbally clear thing men understand is the nod. Nothing else. And if he wants to argue with you after you've already asked him to leave you alone, that's when you once again practice your verbal communication and tell any of the other guys at the gym, and I promise you they will handle it. And by the way, I have been so charitable throughout this whole video because this girl's actual complaint with this man was that he wouldn't stop wearing compression shorts and she could see the outline. Not even a valid complaint, to be honest. His body, his choice. Anyway, ladies, use your words because men do not do subtle hints.
So last night at work, I made this guy his drink and I handed it to him and he was like, thank you, blah, blah, blah. I have a girlfriend, but I just wanted to let you know that you are so beautiful.
Okay, so he compliments you, but he doesn't try to like ask you out or take it any further, right? Yeah, no, because in this comment, she says, no, he seemed pure about it. Oh, okay. So then what happened?
What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? I literally looked him in the face and I said, if my boyfriend ever told another girl that I exist and then called her beautiful, I would chain him to a tree and beat the out of him.
Hello, TikTok, TOC? That's not a violation? She gets to describe wanting to go full Michael Vick on her boyfriend, and that's just...
Am I alone in this?
I hope and I pray you are. Now here's the gag for me. Tell me if I'm wrong, but it seems as though every single image on this girl's Instagram is curated for the express purpose of appearing sexy to the general public, including men. Every single one of these pictures is getting hundreds of likes, including from men. So you get to exchange flatteries and compliments with both men and women on social media all you want, but if your partner tells one woman that she looks pretty, you get to threaten him. So you're not only insecure and unhinged, but you're also a hypocrite. Yikes.
I swear to God, if one more woman comes on this app and says what a wonderful, exceptional, phenomenal husband or boyfriend she has, and then describes him as kind, nice, reliable, responsible, cleans, does laundry, helps around the house, is good and kind with his kids, I'm going to lose.
Why are you so mad that women appreciate their husbands? And like, what else do you want them to say? Whenever people ask men why they chose their wives, they pretty much say the same exact thing. Like, oh, she's kind, she's patient, she's good with kids, she's hardworking. No one ever expects them to be like, oh, because she can do a quadruple back handspring and she cured polio.
Because you're telling me that this man is considered to be exceptional, you just described as standard, normal, human. for doing things all women are doing every single day?
I'm sorry, did you just say all women are doing all of these things every day? Like, I'm sorry, but like Casey Anthony, like Jodi Arias though, like, and I'm sorry, but I am so sick of this narrative that trying to be a good person is just the bare minimum and that it's not exceptional, because yes, it is, especially if you are not a child. If you are anywhere above the age of 20 and you are still trying so hard to be a good person in a world that every single day makes it harder and harder to do so, yes, it is exceptional. It is exceptional. You don't get it because you're hurt and you have core wounds. But for the rest of us, finding a person who's simply trying to be good and that effort makes your life just a little bit easier is exceptional and worth celebrating. And I'm sorry you don't get it. Got told that his hand placement picking her up. Huh? I'm sorry, y'all are giving this man a hard time for, no really, let me check my notes here. Coming home from work, possibly after a long period of time based on his uniform, and lovingly embracing his daughter. But because his hand placement was supporting her bottom, a method that all parents have used to wield their children for millennia, y'all want to make it weird. It's called the football hold, and it is literally taught in hospitals to mothers as well. And let's really think critically here, because if this is the threshold, you're basically suggesting that men cannot ever be alone with their own babies. What happens if the baby poops? Is he not allowed to wipe the poop off? Does he have to make the baby sit there in a dirty, nasty diaper for hours until a good, safe mom can come take care of it? That's deranged. All I can really say is if you watched that clip and saw anything but a dad hugging his child, it is you. You are the one who needs to be put on a list. Let dads hug their kids, man.
And I don't mean to get political, but have you ever seen a man and a woman break up and you're like, he was such a catch. Like, what is she gonna do without him? Oh my gosh, he is so much better off without her. Never! Have you ever seen that? I have never. I quite literally have never seen that.
Okay, you've never seen this. I definitely have. I've seen guys who dated women who put them down so often that when they finally broke up with her, it was like his entire life force had been returned to him. Like, I've seen guys become confident again just by being away from their ex. I've seen guys get so used by women that they've actually cried the first time a girl initiated doing something for them after that breakup. I've seen men spend entire marriages getting treated like a glorified ATM and being chastised for not being a real man if they demonstrated anything but strict stoicism, only to enter their second marriages and see what real reciprocation actually looks like. And I've seen women completely fall apart when they blow things with a good man. You ever hear of a Chad widow? That term exists for a reason. Every single day a woman fumbles a good man by taking him for granted, testing him, or just assuming she can do better, but you're not going to hear about that because these women aren't going to tell on themselves, and men don't take their relationship issues to the internet like women do. But the cope was very cute. I do love the cope.
Why are you bending down so low? It's just...
Hey honey, can you back in the room? It's really freaking me out. Man, why are you doing it like such a dummy?
It's designed so you can stand up with it.
Yeah, it's more precise. More control.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those which came first, the chicken or the egg situations. Do women stop showing respect when men stop trying, or do men stop trying when women stop showing respect? Because I think it would grind anyone's gears if you saw someone freaking out with anxiety, so you took over to do a chore to hopefully relieve their anxiety, only to become their next point of ridicule for how you chose to do the chore. Two things to consider before criticizing how someone is doing the chore. 1, is the chore getting done? Yes? Great. So then 2, are you the one doing the chore? No? Okay, so then why do we have the audacity to complain about how it's getting done? Like, I am very surprised he didn't simply say, then you do it, and walk away. But he knows if he does that, he'll be the bad guy, so he resorts to being the idiot husband instead. And like, damn, those are the only 2 reputation options we give our husbands, either nefarious villain or bumbling idiot. I think the words you've been looking for are, thank you for vacuuming. Shamed the dude for vacuuming. Bad partner shamer, bad.
You know what we would have heard if the roles were reversed? Why ain't you helping her? You sitting up there making fun of her, the mother of your children. Oh, divorce him immediately, girl. He's a red flag. Run. But they can sit up here and make fun of you and post it online. Got it.